Yes.
You recently had you made a post about RFPs
Yeah.
that caught a little steam on LinkedIn,
Did catch some
man.
steam, yeah.
Let's talk about it on the podcast. What was
Okay,
this post
so
about?
I just wrote a post basically saying that we had we had recently turned down 2 RFPs. And then I listed out the reasons why we turned them down. I mean, they were between the two of them, probably somewhere around a million to $1.5 million in potential revenue for the year. But we turned them down, and we turned them down for a lot of reasons. I've seen RFPs for however long now, and I just think the process is broken. And I understand the other side. If you're the company, I understand why going to RFP every 3 years is important or a part of a process in a very large company. I understand check and balance. I guess I understand why procurement would run the RFP, although I think it should be the other way around. Procurement should be involved for the reasons that you have procurement, but having procurement run the RFP is, I can tell anybody right now, you have the wrong people running an RFP if you have procurement running the RFP.
Tell me more. What does that mean?
So it's just like, I mean, look, request for proposal versus request for results. So I think there's a difference, right? So we call it request for proposal, but really you shouldn't be going to, what are you really wanting? You're wanting results, you're wanting change, you're wanting something different. So in my eyes, it really should be more of a request for results, request for something that you're trying to get, right? So procurement leading the way, you just have to know how they're going to lead the way. It automatically makes the process price driven. It automatically makes the process more transactional. So if you are running $1 million, $2 million program, do you want a price driven transactional experience when you're adding in a partner? Because if you're really looking for a partner, you're looking for someone that can advance your program. You're looking for someone that can make it better. I'm not saying don't have procurement involved. Have them involved. Have them involved in like the shadows in the back closet, right? Like where they're reviewing everything and working with the director of events or whoever runs that program. Whoever runs that program should be the one responsible for this RFP. And yes, they are involved, but we do have a high number of them where it is all procurement that's involved, and it sets the wrong tone. And you can even tell information being requested, the process it's being gone down, it lacks any differentiation, it lacks any sort of value driving. It's basically like, tell us everything and then we're going to decide the way this works. And that's, to me, that is not how you get value from vendors, suppliers, and partners.
What I'm hearing and what you're saying is that procurement's role should serve to verify pricing and kind of like know-how of stuff, and maybe even value add of just like, hey, we heard that you could do it this way. Have you thought about it that way? But not serve to drive the full bus of like, hey, this is the price box that we want it in. Nothing else matters. What should matter should be kind of like the intent, the result that you think you can get. I almost think of it as investment mindset versus budgeting mindset. Procurement is a budgeting mindset. Investment mindset is what
Brittany Lindquist said that, right? Brittany Lindquist, I mean, so look, I think I don't want to harp too much on procurement like they're a problem. I just think that it's what are you trying to accomplish from going? Like our industry knows that somewhere around 70% of RFPs are price checks. So like, what are you looking to gain here? Where are you trying to get? What are you trying to accomplish through this RFP? And that's what should be discussed. I think when you do it a set way, you deter the good companies. I mean, if procurement's running it, if you're not going to communicate with each individual bidder, you won't do calls, you won't do meetings, it's tough to want to go and try and take on that business, because I think the process, when you are buying something at a higher level, enterprise level, just more expensive level, you're talking $1 million plus whatever it is, right? Like when you're buying something like that, I believe, again, devil's in the details. So if you are going to 3 companies, you should have researched them. You should know who they are. You should know that they're a decent, you should be going to 12. Just because you found them on Google. You should be going to 3 to 5 max that are either referrals, you've seen their work, you've seen them on the show floor, you've done homework, you've seen they've won multiple awards, you've seen a million different, whatever your research process is, that would be something to choose them. From there, I am looking to them to say, I want to decide between them through differentiation, value driven, and ideas on their process that they're pulling me through. That's what I want. You don't get that in an RFP process. You don't. You just do not get that in an RFP process.
Got it. So if I'm a well-intended event marketer that gets this, they want the value from the vendor and they want to utilize the vendor in the right way and create a good partnership, and I have a seat at the table, or I'm trying to get a seat at the table, what's the guidance? Like, change the language from request from proposal to request from results? What, what should we be doing here?
I think what I would be doing is, I would be looking at what your RFP process is. Obviously, you have stakeholders. There are rules inside your company. But I would be, again, this is more stakeholder alignment. What are we wanting from this? Are we just price checking? Or are we really going to look to get better results? Are we looking for a change because we don't feel like we're optimized in this area? What is it that we want? And then from there, I'm saying, hey, does our process match up with what we want? Is this the best process to get what we want? And if you are looking for more creativity, differentiated value from a company that can maybe show you something that you don't even know that's out there that exists, if you are looking for more leads, more pipeline, better closing, converting rates, increasing your customer spend at your trade shows, improving your campaigns pre and post show, if like those are things that you've identified as a problem, you really have to ask yourself, like, does your process allow you to find somebody to come in and fix that? And even if they could, can they convey it to you through the process? Because just having people compile a shitload of information to give it to you to decide, that is not, in my eyes, that is, no offense to whoever looking at that information, that's not the way to go.
It's not a good use of their time. I'm sure they don't feel like it's a good use of their time either, right? Nope. Like, if you're just sitting there to like be the taskmaster of did this, like at that point, ChatGPT can do it.
Let companies take you through their process. Let them show you what they're made of. Put them to work, but put them to work the right way.
How do you make that argument up the chain of command?
I think it starts with, what are we trying to accomplish?
What are we trying to accomplish?
Right? And hey, we did this RFP process 3 years ago, and like really hasn't been a whole bunch of change. Like, maybe we got a better deal on this booth, or I don't know.
No, that makes sense.
I'm not inside.
Has it worked in the past?
Yeah, I'm not inside one of those big matrix organizations, so I don't know. I don't want to pretend to make it seem like it's easy.
Yeah.
But I do think the focus should be, what are we trying to accomplish? Because if you're just going to RFP just to go, because it's part of your process, I understand that, but I would still be letting people show you what else is out there.
Got it. Change from a request for a proposal to a request for results mindset.
Somewhere in that sense, yeah.
Love it.